What we're gonna do is go back, way back to the beginning of my creative career. This conversation is with my good friend, Devon Edwards. I could not have imagined a better person to bring on to this channel to share with you some of the insights about, where I've come from, and definitely some ins to how you can tap into your creative flow journey, not just as a millennial, but from the perspective of someone who's much more advanced than we are and who has just made his way and reinventing himself time and time again. He's a veteran. He is an incredible filmmaker and he has the heart of gold. So let's jump right in and let's see what Devon has to say about his creative flow alchemy journey. So my friend, it's been so long.
So long. You got me to move to Texas, and then as soon as we move in, you move out.
I'm back though. I'm back like I never left. Just not in Austin.
You're in Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's crazy because we've been in LA. We stayed in Austin for the 2 years, and then we moved to LA. Been out here 3 years now, and I'm torn. I'm working at Disney right now, which is cool, but yeah, the cost of living here is like, yeah, even with the money you make, I'm still below the poverty line. So it's still like, 6 figures, and I make 120K a year, and I'm still below the poverty line here in Los Angeles.
Ooh.
That's insane.
Yeah, folks, I hope just hear that out, because actually I don't want to cut that. I think that's some of the most important things for people to understand about the glamorous moving to LA journey. I got a lot of people over these years who I've known, friends, family, colleagues, who have made that big leap, and it has helped their career in incredible ways. But, I think I'd love to talk about that a little bit, just like your transition from, because you've lived in, first of all, you've been all over this world, you've done a little bit of everything. So let's take a moment and just introduce ourselves. And so everyone watching, I'm Rachel Ray. I am the creator of Creative Flow Alchemy, and this is a part of my 10-year review. So I'm taking a tour of the last decade. It's 2020. It's been a crazy year. And although I have known this individual much longer than 10 years, technically, I'm starting again with this decade in review. So Devon, to give you a point of reference, we're going to be talking about 2010, which would be a couple years after we met, and just kind of talk about like the changes that we've seen since then, and really your journey as a creative. I'll ping in and share a little bit about mine, but let me give you a chance to introduce yourself.
Man, well, what do I say? I'm Devon Edwards, a writer-director. I'm the founder of True Tribe Productions that'll be launching here June 2021. So you just got the spoiler. I'm working out all the details now. So it's going to be a new media digital production company that focuses on establishing new artists and help them establish their voice in this creative space. And then just to connect them with like other entities that are looking for new voices and creatives. And it will also be merchandising as well. So it's already trademarked. So don't try to take True Tribe, because the first thing they say when you move out to a new area is like, you want to find your tribe. Make sure you find you a tribe. But I always say, you got to make sure you find your true tribe, because not everybody who say they with you for you. So yeah, that's me. I'm a retired military veteran, served this country in 3 branches of the military, Navy, Army, retired Air Force, fought in 4 conflicts. Been retired now for about 14 years. And Chicago City Slicker, now living in the LA Valley. So yeah, that'd be me.
And the biggest heart you could possibly know. Like the biggest heart, don't do that. The biggest heart you could possibly know, if you're blessed to be in his true tribe, right?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
In his true tribe. I have known this incredible person since I was 18 years old. God. Dang, it made me feel some way. And if it made me feel some way, I don't even know how that might affect, you, Devon, but like you have known me since my adulthood. like began, like true adulthood. And I absolutely love, congratulations on what you're creating. Everything that you do is on time, like every single time. And so I never even question where you are in your creative world, because I know that you're always making like these really silent moves, but they're always so just impactful and timely. So just congratulations to you. But I can tell you guys, I've known Devon since 2008. We were maybe winter 9, but I think it was '08, and we met in a Mandarin 101 class, or I believe in at Columbia College.
Ni hao. That's all I remember. Yeah,
And
ni hao, ma.
gosh, we just hit it off. We sat next to each other in the class. You know, it was U-shaped, so I mean, pretty much in your face. You got to be next to the person who's, you know, you got to be close to the person sitting next to you. And we just hit it off. And being in an art school, you want people who you can connect with, and not just based on what you're studying, but truly based on like your unique passion, skills, and talents. But I think it was family that brought us together. We talked a lot about like where I was from and his family, his background, and we just connected. And I'm just so grateful for that relationship. And that's what this is all about, like relationships. So this decade in review to me is a conversation about genuine relationship building. And so tell
Yeah,
me, you know, what's happened for you since, you know, what comes up for you when you think about that?
man, when I think about it, it's just like when we met, it was the most terrifying time of my life because I was battling sickness. I had just got out the military. I knew nothing else but, I mean, I joined the military when I was 17. And then like 18 years later, I get out, and then I decided to go to college to study film of all things. So it was just like, what was I thinking? And yeah, it was, man, when you sit back and you think about it, it's like you were like the first like friend that I had at Columbia College. And what I want to say, I mean, especially towards that, you know, because I'm married, been married 29 years. It proves the idea that you can have a really, really great friend of the opposite sex, and it's never, you know, any, you know, like friends with benefits type ordeals, no slickness, you know, because some people today think that it's not possible to have a friend of the opposite sex as close as we are. And it's just like, man, and I mean, I remember Rachel was just so ambitious and just, man, you was ready to take, and I was just ready to take over the world. And I was just so thoroughly impressed, you know, by the ambition, the excitement about, because you was doing a video game development or something at that particular time, you know.
Oh, you just
Yeah,
got the bag, guys. My goodness, that was my first, like, that was the beginning of what I would consider my project management consulting days. That was my very first
yeah.
project.
At
God.
18, that blew me because I mean, and it gave me hope for my younger children, you know, because my children are 30, 29, and 22 now. So I mean, just imagine, you know, all of them were, you know, at that cusp around the same age as you were, and a few years younger. And I mean, it just to like see the caliber of an individual that you were at that age, you know, just gave me hope. You know, not to say that my kids weren't great or whatever, but it was just like, man, if I just continue to like push and grind and like chase my dreams, and my kids see this, you know, then they'll be, you know, somewhat of an inkling of what you turned out to be. And just think, like 10 years, I mean, every journey, every business venture that you've been on, you know, I mean, I knew you before you started your locks, you
I
know,
know.
and before I started mine, you know. So it's like, but it's just the key thing that the bulk of this will be is me like just singing your praise, is just the constant elevation, just constant. You were nonstop, just going and going and going and still going, you know. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. I mean, whoever's listening, I trust her so much that I moved to a state and into an apartment complex that I had never seen, didn't even research off the strength of what she recommended. And I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed that place or whatever. I mean, needless to say, she left like the same month we got there. She moved.
Oh,
But
you
it's okay. No, but we were very appreciative because it's, when I moved to a new place before, I always had that military. It's like, there was nothing for me to worry about because I'm going to a military installation. Everything's going to be established there. So there's no need to worry. But here it is, my first time moving from home to a new place on my own. Whoa. I was like, I mean, but Rachel definitely made it a comfortable and easy move because, I mean, my wife trusted her. I trusted her. It was just, oh, we doing it. And boom, there it was. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now.
Oh no, nothing but love. Like, you just hit me with so many little gems that like I haven't even thought about. I definitely don't take for granted the amount of love and faith and trust you have to have in someone to take just off merit, their word to make such a big move. And a couple of things that came up for me as you were talking. One, I totally but I totally put out of my view that you were connected to me on my very first project. So that just does show how many chapters and iterations of the woman I am today that you've seen. Two, it speaks to, something I just want to circle back to is our friendship has been solid and golden from the beginning. But the other side of that is when you are an open person and an open book, as you create and develop relationships, it makes room for those kind of family connections. Because I met Dawn, your wife, at my first blog release party, and I invited you and your family. And so, when you're building relationships, being an open book makes a big difference. And so what happened was she met me at the beginning. She watched me journey through. You guys have come into my home. We've sat in circles over soup and food and intimate spaces with like-minded people. I've always...
Really good soup like that.
Kale, white bean, and potato soup. You remember that? Yeah. Like, I am just most grateful for those memories. Some of the things that I don't even have, at the forefront of my mind that you're bringing back. And with this decade in review, I'm most grateful for that. People think that the final product, and that's why this conversation is important to me. People think the final product is what we're celebrating a lot of times, like making it to the launch, making it to that website, making it to that first 6-figure deal. But the truth is, it's those moments that people never get to see that mean more to me and that make your character, that really suggest the kind of person that you are. And y'all have watched and supported. Not only have you been a friend and supporter, you have been a part of my projects. I have been a part of yours. I have come to, things that as you were growing in the film industry and, just jumping in there, like you said, first time, a retiree starting a totally new career. I remember being there, supporting you. I remember showing up and having your back, and that's just a part of true friendship. So you and Dawn are not just friends. You guys are my family. And go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, not even just like on a professional, but on a personal level, because I've been able to like share with you some like intimate things that was going on with me. And I mean, he was just like, man, just a strong shoulder to cry on, metaphorically. Because I didn't figuratively cry, or literally. But no, you provided, sound advice. Because I already know I'm almost like 19, 20 years your senior, but because of your maturity and your professionalism and then just your heart, it made it comfortable for me to even like share, some things that I was going through. And it's like, man, how do it was just, listen, when you talk about day ones, since that's the newest slang term that the kids are using these days,
Mm-hmm.
I can just assure you, you are like an acceptance speech day one person. It's like in my acceptance speech, it's like, it can't be without Rachel. And it's just like, man, when you like branded Sun Ray or whatever, because I knew you before then.
Yes, you did.
You are definitely one of those like like just rays of sunshine that just, man, just brighten up any dark moment. And I just want people to know that I'm not just talking simply because this is Rachel, but I'm just telling you, these are like facts. You know, we talking about 12 years, facts, facts, you know. It's just, I mean, she's been amazing. I mean, I was there before she got her first tattoo. I mean, it was just, yo, the bookstores, the lofts, you know, launching other people. I met many amazing people through her and some of her ventures. And then you're going away party in Hyde Park. Man, yo, we just got history, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So
I'm so grateful. You know, Devon, if I had to highlight a couple of things that you pulled out, especially for the purpose of millennial creatives. So my conversations and the work that I'm doing, I'm truly honing in and dedicating all this like market research, all of this, you know, underground work that we've been building for years as we're finally, what I would say, I call this my intuitive season, which I've put together this 4-part journey through creative flow. And essentially this is 3 out of 4, this intuitive season. And I would say that is the season where mind, body, soul, ethics, values, connections, everything lines up. You can look at all of your work and you can see yourself and see everything that spirit, God, however you identify, has been guiding you towards. You can finally see it, kind of detach from it and look at it and see, man, somebody, something, some folk have been really having my back. And it shows up in my relationships. And so just as you're talking and as I'm thinking about that, as a millennial creative in her intuitive season, I would say that this is a divine relationship and that you have to celebrate those relationships. And there are a couple of projects that really stand out when I think back. So, you know, for the purpose of this part of my year in review, I really want to hone in on the summary group with you. And that's because you were there before before that became a thing. You know, prior to that, it was the blog, and I'm having a conversation all about that. But I want to hone in on, you know, some of the highlights from what you saw from the summer group, whether that be, you know, whatever those highlights were for you. You talked about people you've met, you talked about just different events and things. I think when you were at the Raw Awards, I was coming in, you know, as part of that. So just tell me, you know, what were some of those highlights from the summer group? And I'm happy to share with you just kind of the same thing.
You know, well, let me see. Man, there was so many.
2012, you know, like the 2012 era. I know I'm reaching, but you know, what
2020 now, you know, like I just said, I'm 20 years your senior, so I'm part of the CRS club. Can't remember stuff. So I think let me see. Yo, it wasn't Lana. Was it the bookstore? No.
Well, Lana, we did, you know, I did start working with Lana that year. You met, we had the loft party, and then after that's kind of where we all connected. So Brittany, you know, there's a ton of people. God, I got to tag these.
Brittany, oh my gosh. Now her mom and my wife
Robin
are friends. Her and Robin, they communicate all the time. You know, I would say this, a lot of the, I would say this, everyone that you've met or you introduced us to, or was part of your summer sessions, are on their way to being like household names in some sort of speak. And you were the one, like, I distinctly remember when you started with Lana, when we were doing an interview session, because I was recording that interview and you gave her those tidbits as like, you know, what makes you like this creative. Not only that, but you're a strong Black young woman, you know, and you need to focus on that as part of your brand. Because I tell Lana now, I mean, I remember when I first met you and you are a completely different person, but I do remember Rachel, like, you know, really pulling that out of you. And then Moses, oh my gosh. I mean, this brother, you know, killing the real estate.
Beast. And I have I can't give no spoilers, but something really good is in the works as a part of
I
our
mean,
anniversary of me and Moses coming together. So some
listen, that space, another young brother, I mean, the biggest memory is just like seeing like this collective of young folks, I call them young folks then, but the fact that I felt like I was a part of it, regardless of how old I was, but it was like, it wasn't like okay, well, you stand over here and the rest of us is going to be over here. It was like, no, we were all Moses, Justin, Lana, Brittany, your she's your cousin, your aunt.
sponsor.
Yeah, Fanta.
Yeah. Gosh.
The lady who owns the bookstore and the crystal store. That young. It was. Man, it was just. The young man that I met the people that I met at the Going Away who owned the vegan restaurant that we were in. Her and you helped her with that. And and then see, I'm telling y'all, you see this, y'all? The young lady that we interviewed in the courtyard in Bronzeville. The guy with the juice bar, when we did the juice.
Oh my gosh, you are pulling them out. Like,
yeah.
My portfolio darn better than me. It's just
listen.
It's been I've touched I've worked with, I think in Chicago,
so many
200 small businesses during our prime, like in our, with a team that was tiny. We had
the young lady with cancer, her, and then I forgot her name, but she wrote the
Shahara?
book Swallow Don't
Shahara, Spit Don't Swallow.
Shahara. Yeah. See, it's like, listen, it's, man, and wow, just to think that I was, just was able to witness you like pour into these people's lives and watch them begin their journey. And then I forgot the other young lady who does the she does the all black shop buy black shop black. Her name starts with a C. She's light skinned and had she was at the event with the dark skinned young lady that we did the lupus or cancer ordeal for. Consuela? No, it's not Consuela. It's see, it's just so many people.
Just put it out here. There have been so many. Most of them I know based on how you're describing them, but I've worked with so many people. And by work, I want to just be clear. I've served in the form of a consultant. This is prior to my one-on-one coaching days. I was Sunray Consulting Group was a full service consulting group. So we did everything from strategic planning to event coordinating to brand marketing. And we did it with love. So that was a chapter of my life that I'm most grateful for. It's also one of the most challenging chapters to reflect back on, because when you're new and you're jumping in and starting something with no experience, just pure talent and grit, you don't necessarily know what you're doing. So I would say I was divinely, again, guided and blessed to every experience, made a lot of impacts, made a lot of mistakes, came up against a lot of growth. But the number one thing that I took from that was that I absolutely had the sauce. You know what I mean? Like, if I didn't know who I was when I look back at that 22-year-old girl, she was a beast. And sometimes we think about we think about comparing ourselves to other people. And the truth is, a lot of times I look back and I go, 22-year-old Rachel was something else. And I'm glad that I know her, because as I look at the woman I want to become and the woman I'm becoming today, accepting a totally new, different version of myself and celebrating her, I often look back at that woman, at that young woman, and say, if I have her grit, her desire, and her passion matched with my wisdom and my experience and this new focus on integrity, it's going to give you a totally different experience. And so to that point, Devon, being not just a creative, but also being, I know you're not a millennial, but you've worked with so many of us. What kind of advice would you give creative millennials who are like stepping out on faith and jumping out, as it relates to relationship building, but also as it relates to just kind of putting yourself out there? I'd love to hear about your advice. And then even more specifically, being in LA and having, like you said, coming up against these new challenges and this new kind of crossroads?
Well, I would say to any, like, I don't care how old you are, because I've met some, do you call them millennials when they're under 15? I mean, I don't know.
Right now, yeah, it's so
What
many
is it?
different labels, but
Yeah.
that, I think they're our Gen Z babes.
I met a 12-year-old filmmaker out here at an event, and her resume was so impressive, and then I was like, and here she is in a room full of people she does not know. But because she wanted to be in film and direct, she was fearless, and what I learned from her is to be fearless, so if you want to step out, I don't care if you want to sell butter cookies, from the trunk of your car, be fearless, because the only person that's going to stop you is you. I always tell people, like the mentees that I have, um, I always tell them, like, it's inevitable. We all do it. The first thing we do when we look at ourselves in the mirror or we look at ourselves is like the first thing we focus on is all the negativity, all the flaws that we have, the parts of our bodies that we don't like or what have you. And I'll just say all that is just a trick of the enemy to get you sidetracked. He wants to give you a panoramic view of everything you think is wrong with you or everything you think you can't do to stop you from doing that or believing that you are what you say you are. I always say, don't believe the lie that's in the mirror. Don't believe that lie. So I say be fearless and then make yourself present. You got to be present and make yourself available. Is what I meant to say. Make yourself available and be present. The worst anybody could say is no, but you have to embrace those no's. You have to embrace failure, not to sound like Will Smith, but I mean, he hit like the nail on the head when he said you have to embrace rejection, you have to embrace fear. It's a part of the journey. In order to learn, you have to fail, so don't be afraid to fail, but at the same time, don't be afraid to try. We used to say in the military, the maximum effective range of an excuse, 0 meters, so don't make no excuses. Just go for, I don't care if you 5 or 50. I'm 47 years old. I came out to LA to get it out my system, essentially. The idea was like to garner and build relationships so that way I can be bi-coastal. So I don't have to live here, but I can have the relationship to whereas if I needed to fly back, then I could because those relationships are established. But being out here 3 years, and I bounced around, worked at the film school for a year. Then I did Total Knockout with Kevin Hart, did the first season of The Four. Then I went and did HBO's Westworld, working in the office as an office PA. Then I did All American season 2. Then I did Tacoma FD season 2. Then I did Bless This Mess season 1. Yeah, I'm telling you. And then I worked on LA's Finest with the drone department. Then I pitched a feature and a pilot to HBO. I pitched films to some other production companies, and I got no's. I said, but I was like, I ain't care. Okay, so what? No,
you never give up. You never give up. And I would just add, like what you said, fearlessness, being available. But also, it's like you said, it's okay to fail and get right back in the game. I have watched you. One of the best, most like impactful things I've seen you share is every time you submit something and you get a no, you share it and you say right back at it. And I see it every time. I've been watching it for now over a decade. I've watched you share your losses just as much as your wins as motivation. And that is so powerful. Yeah. And it is, I mean, whether or not you get to see my clap every single time, I'm right there with you going, when Devon, when it's on, it's on. But we will have seen the whole journey, all the receipts.
Yeah. I wanted to say too, because I don't post a lot of the accomplishments, but I went to a career coach, and man, he was like, his name is Steve Arnoff. He's based out of New York, and he had said something about like celebrating your wins. He said it's not being braggadocious. It is that and the other. It's like, people love to throw your failures in your face all the time. but very few often do anybody really celebrate your wins. And sometimes you have to take the time out to celebrate your wins. Do something for yourself, like it's not bragging. It's like you congratulating yourself on doing a job well done, So it's like, I said, now I definitely need to like start posting more about the accomplishments. I was working, I didn't post anything when I was working on Grey's Anatomy. I forgot to, I didn't post anything when I was working on Grey's Anatomy. I posted after the fact, I didn't take any photos while I was there or nothing. But then when I got this corporate job at Disney working health and safety, I posted that, and, we just completed like 6 short films. We're in post-production right now. But once I leave this project, I'm going on to the Cheaper by the Dozen reboot, and we got Gabrielle Union is on as the lead for the mom's role, but that's starting up pre-production starts next month, and production will start in the middle of spring, and it goes into the summer, but then it's like I'm taking a leap of faith. I make 6 figures in this position that I'm in right now, but I'm about to walk away from it. And I've only been in this position since August. I'm about to walk away from it because I'm about to gamble on myself. Being in this position, I've just watched other productions just people creating, and I'm sitting on the sidelines, so to speak, just watching, and I'm like, you know what? I ain't come out to LA to be no cheerleader, so it's like, I came out here to be the quarterback. So if I don't take the chance on myself now, then I think I said this to you when I was in Austin, Texas, and I did the 3 seasons of my 600-pound life as a camera operator. I was like, I got so caught up in that world because the money was, I was making like 250 plus a day. Sometimes I'll be getting like, one week, some weeks I would make more than upwards of $2,500 to $3,000 for just like 4 days of shooting. 4 days, and I'm making $3,000. And this was like on a weekly basis. And I had to walk away from that because it's like, at some point, you get caught up and you compromise your creativity for the consistency of a paycheck, and it's like what's more important to me? And I'm already retired. I get 2 checks. I get 2 checks a month just by doing nothing, and I can even in LA, I can sit and do absolutely nothing and still afford, a semi-comfortable lifestyle. Now, if I was to move to Atlanta, someplace down south, I'll be able to live extremely comfortable, but here it's kind of like I won't have to eat ramen every night, but there's gonna be some ramen nights in there though. So I would just say, man, you guys, it's time out for all the pointing fingers and waiting for somebody to do it. No, we waiting on you. You do it. Don't, I don't know. I just see it time and time again, it's easy for me to say, I haven't obtained that level of what I think success is as of yet, but I'm enjoying this journey though. The ride is like a roller coaster. You got your ups, you got your downs, you got that hesitation moment, like you don't know if it's going to be scary or not, and then it takes your breath away, and then at the end of the ride, he's like, ooh, I want to do it again. I want to do it. It's like that. So yeah, I would just say y'all be fearless, never give up. Nah, be relentless,
Yes.
Oh, and then protect your intellectual properties, like whatever that might be. Book, film, protect your intellectual properties. Don't do nothing off word. Contract. Yeah. I'll say it again. Contract. I don't care if it's your auntie, mama, cousin, 3rd time removed. Contract. If your mama, your daddy, I don't care. Contract. Yeah. Because even Rachel, as good as a friends that we are, She's giving me a contract. You know, I solicited her service and she's written out a contract. And it's not like I'm not, you know, now if you guys want to give discounts, you can, you know, but I always say like, no, the best way for me to support you other than in my words, you know, is with my finances,
Yeah.
you know. So if you need it, it's just like, you know, support your friends with the money. You know what I'm saying? Don't just, I mean, lip service is great. You know what I'm saying? But lip service don't pay them bills. You know, lip service don't help the journey move forward. You
Yeah.
know, so yeah, youngins just be fearless. Just go after it. Don't be afraid. You know, and find your true tribe. Find your true tribe. You know, them day ones. You know, get the ones that's not gonna sugarcoat.
Right.
It's not gonna pacify you. You know,
Right.
get the ones that's gonna cuss you out and be like, look, you know, you've been talking this for yada yada yada. You know, so it's, I mean, shit to get off the pot. Excuse me, but you know, let's get it.
I love it. Thank you so much, Devon. Oh, God, it's so good to just catch up with you. You know,
Yeah.
it really is. I'm humble. I didn't even know, some of the emotions that would come up hearing your voice again, having this conversation, listening to the advice. I can hear the refinement in your delivery in terms of being someone who has probably got your own set of mentees now, who's
Mhm.
gone through this journey. I've watched every step and I can tell you, I can see, feel, hear the conviction. That's what it is, the conviction. I remember
Yeah.
days at DePaul. I remember, when you first came to Austin and we were going to look at studios for the very first time that you were considering.
Yes, MPS. We sure
I
did.
remember being in the car with you, taking a ride up the road on I-35, I remember all of it. And so I remember your son's first, him heading to the airport and on his way to, the Air Force for the first, on his way to boot camp. I remember all of that. And I can say with certainty that just the conviction and the solidarity in what you're offering, it's real, it's gems, it's gold. So if I could recommend anybody to listen to, anybody to trust, anybody to say, just like he said, moving on merit, this is the man. Because
She's the one.
thank you. He doesn't just talk. Devon is one of the most
Mhm.
actionable people I know. So definitely, we're going to make sure you have everything you need to know about True Tribe as this comes out and any updates, because I'm excited. Like I got the spiel just like y'all on this meeting, and I'm also learning about his incredible resume and the things that he's been working on that he has not shared with the world on this. So if if people want to connect, if you want to, again, just, tell us again what True Tribe is, what we can look forward to, and just how we can connect with you.
Well, right now you can just connect with me on IG. It's just Devon J. Edwards, you know, all one word, lowercase. On Twitter, it's Inspired Filmmaker. I also have an IG, Inspired Filmmaker. Yeah, you can just follow me on it. True Tribe is coming in June. It's like I said, it's going to be. I have two. It's True Tribe Productions and True Tribe Entertainment. Because it's just going to encompass like all those things that I've watched other entities do, such as Sundance. I'm a huge supporter of Sundance. I've been with Sundance for 10 years. I didn't mention that I won a Gail Stevens Award at Sundance this year for Volunteer of the Year, you know, just for all the efforts that I've been doing with the festival. And that was an amazing opportunity. You know, I had a one-on-one with Kenneth Cole, the designer, and we took photos together. I was honored at the festival. I'm being honored again in their catalog for 2021. It's just, you know, I've been on the grind, you know. So True Tribe is just going to take its notes from Sundance, because when I worked there, Artist Development Lab, and just watching these artists, you know, first time filmmakers, the writers and directors have their voices developed, you know, and see that how Sundance just supported them. It's like, yo, that's what I want to do. I want to do that. I want to support artists. So it's True Tribe. productions and entertainment will be just that, because a lot of the artists that Rachel has introduced me to is just, I'm waiting for that right project to like contact them and their managers to get contracts done, to have them like create a feature track on the soundtrack for the film, or a title track for the film. You know, the two films that I'm writing, I've already been in contact with Justin, London Lowe, Avery Young, you know, all who I've met, you know, in some way relation to Rachel, and I've stayed in contact with them, is just to, you know, when the time is right, you know, don't do no discounts, you know, charge me what you would charge the regular Joe, to get some title tracks or some tracks for the soundtrack of the films that I'm creating and that we're going to create with True Tribe, you know. And it's just, it's coming in, more details will be coming in June. Right now it's the trademarks, the copyrights, deciding on whether it's going to be S Corp or LLC. It's and then where I'm going to actually have it home base, because LA, the taxes out here are kind of high, so I might have to like make True Tribe a Chicago base or something. But
yeah.
the taxes out here.
Listen, these details that he's talking about are all the nitty gritties to like being an actual real adulting in business, is what we call that, like real adulting in business. Because IP, knowing your, you know, incorporation status, knowing where to incorporate, honestly, you can make a lot of mess. So if you really want to do it right, there's a way to do it. And listen, you can learn a lot about that in Creative Flow Alchemy Academy, but you can also just talk to a professional. Don't skip. Do not like get you some professional help. But you know, Devon,
don't talk with Uncle Junebug. Don't talk to your cousin. Don't talk to auntie. No, get somebody who does this professionally. You know, pay them dollars. You know,
IP attorney,
talk to Rachel. Talk to Rachel. Let her consult you. Let her, like, you know, point you in the right direction. Let her align you with some people or what have you. Trust me. I mean, Rachel, you've been a shining star. I mean, since day one. I mean, man, when you said that earlier on the beginning of this call, I'm like, whoa, it's 12 years since day one. I mean, and just to watch your growth. I mean, I'm proud of you, you know, for what it's worth. I'm so very proud of you. I watched you grow from, man, a young whippersnapper to this illustrious young businesswoman, entrepreneur, mogul in the making, you know. So I just can't wait just to see what 2021 has for you, you know. And it's just, you've been a friend, a confidant, you know. You've been a shoulder, a voice of reason, you know. You've been a prayer partner. I just can't thank you enough. I just can't thank you enough for just what you've been to me. And like, I know I can always count on you in this journey. If I have a question about something, if I'm unsure, you know, I can always call a younger mind and like get that clarity, you know. So yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm just waiting, you know. I mean, to see, I mean, when I met you that first year, I mean, I was like, I need to step my game up. That's the first thing I said to myself. I was like, can I be real? I was like, God damn, I need to step my game up. Like, yo, she doing like video games. I mean, she was like, y'all don't understand. It was like you can tell when people, like, she's from Detroit. So, you know, Midwest, you know, Chicago, we say, don't speak about it, be about it, you know, but she's been being about it. Like, Rachel is not taught, you know, she's about the action. She's about the executable action, you know. In the military, we have is two commands. It's a preparatory command and a command of execution, you know, and she is definitely that executable action and that executable command. It's like she prepares and then she executes, you know. So if you want somebody in your corner that's going to lead you and guide you in the way, Rachel, Sunray, consulting, whatever it is, you know, she is the truth, you know. Trust me when I say she is the truth.
Mad love over here. Y'all, listen, the truth is I'm probably going to be in my feelings after this video. So it's so good to talk to you.
So
Thank you
good to
for
talk to you
all of
too.
that. And just for, y'all listen, build your people up too. Like he said, build your people up. So it's not because this is a recording. It's not because we had zero rehearsal. I asked him to do this. Devon always says yes. And we hopped on. And so this is 100% organic, no preparation. So when I tell you I'm being humbled truly by the reflections and just the love, I mean that. Please, y'all big y'all people up because we need it, especially after this crazy year we've experienced. More than ever, we need to support each other. So take the time to send the voice memo, the text, the picture. Thank you for being a part of my year or decade in review. This focus, of course, is like 2012, but like I said, our journey started 2008. So yeah, day one.
Yeah. And so I'm telling you, it's gonna be, I can't wait for the next one. It's gonna be like, all I ask, Rachel, is can you not like send me to an assistant when we get
You
there?
ain't
It's like,
never
can
gonna
I
get an
always
assistant.
just
Never gonna get an assistant, ever.
like ever. My number stayed the same for the last 25 years. It ain't never gonna change. So it's just like, can you not send me to an assistant?
Y'all heard it here first. My bro is never gonna get it. I can promise you that. Listen, when outside open up again for real, we definitely got to get together. And I look forward to bringing conversations like this back into spaces where people can touch, connect, and feel each other in a real tangible way. So y'all be good to yourselves. If you've gotten anything from this conversation, please let us know. Like he said, True Tribe is going to be launching in next year, so 2021. By the time you see this, we'll have the information right here for you to connect with him on Instagram, follow his work. Devon's really dope. And I just know that when he opens up, if he hasn't already opened up a way for y'all to work and just talk to him one-on-one, he always gives from his heart, but don't miss the opportunity to know him now. Because I promise y'all, when we think to the Ava DuVernays and we think about these people who, are right there, we watch them grow. This is that in the making. It's that in the making. He's touched all these people already. Like he's already touched them. He's already in the rooms with them. And he's done a lot more than he could ever explain here on a 60-minute, conversation. 50-minute conversation. So,
or what I can legally say.
More than he as always, we know how that goes. And I will say, just don't miss the chance to connect with him. Like, don't miss the chance to break bread and get in his inbox. And shout out to Justin Ruff. I heard you mention Justin. Justin is a part of this project as well. Justin was my first project assistant, one of my first two, and just an incredible R&B singer, an incredible songwriter, musician, talent. He is, I can't even get into it because Justin is still like just so pivotal and a big, huge part of Some Ray back in the day and Some Ray the woman. So I just want to shout him out.
Because of you.
Heart, he's just got such a humble heart. And he trusted me, man. I can't even do that today. Like, we got to have a round table discussion on another day.
No, but I was telling you, like, Justin was the first, like, okay. I'm not really into R&B. Like that. I used to listen to gangster rap, back in my day. I mean, I do listen to like R&B or whatever, but it would have to be, I just never liked like male swooners or whatever like that, because there's like that hardcore persona that I had to do. But when I heard Justin sing, I was like, listen, I still got the video on my phone. Listen, that when that boy opened his mouth, I was like, hold up. Now, I wish.
Old Hall Loves, Lana J, back when Lana J was just kicking off, Justin opening up singing acoustic for the very first time in the space at Mohawk as we launched Everyday Summary, my very first blog. Like just in Brittany performing acoustic as well, just incredible. That night was incredible. It was incredible.
Yeah, Rachel turned me on. So y'all follow Rachel. Y'all hit her up. I learned from her. So, and that's 100% real. I learned from her. And like I said, I'm just so, man, I'm gonna leave the office today. I'm gonna go work from home just because it's like, I learned from you. Thank you so much, Rachel, for even having me and for just being a part, you know.
The world. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. It's time. We had a good combo. And the truth is we would keep doing this, but we know how this works. So it's time to cut it off. Connect with us offline. And I can't wait to hear from everybody about what you got from Devon's like amazing conversation and advice that he's given us. Go follow him. And like I said, break bread today while you still can. Because things get busy and life gets crazy. And we want to take advantage of this right here, right now, while it's real time. All right. So much love on your creative flow alchemy journey. And I'll talk to you soon.